Hey y'all, welcome back to Soul Shift. I'm Dani, and I am very glad that you're here with me today. It has been a little bit since the first episode of season 2, and that is because we officially have a kindergartner. Nova Girl started kindergarten a few weeks ago, and she also pretty much back to back began her first season of um, competition team with her dance company. So that includes travel, more rehearsals, a lot. And we just been really busy. We've been really busy, but it feels like we're finally getting to the swing of things. So our schedule should be back to normal. So I'm happy you're here. Today we are talking about seasonal depression. And if you've never heard of that, just stay tuned because you may experience this and just didn't know. Um, and I feel like a lot of people do have that issue where they probably have these feelings during this time of year and they didn't realize it. I didn't realize it. I didn't know that this was something that affected me until like my early 20s. I was in college. I'd never heard of it. So shout out to Dr. Johnson at Bowie State for that. We talked about it one day and it really clicked that that's what was happening. So I'll be sharing my own experiences with it, the highs and lows, all that good stuff. And if you've ever felt just like sadness when the weather gets colder and the days are shorter, you're definitely not alone. Keep on listening and see how this relates to you. All right. So, right before fall rolls around, which is like now, I start to feel a shift in my mood. It's like a switch flips, and suddenly I'm just like struggling to find motivation. And it really does start for me like September 1st. Granted, September is an overall just like bummy, heavy, triggering month for me. But that coupled with the time change has just made it incredibly difficult. Fun fact, my anniversary is September 23rd, and we purposefully picked that date because it is right at the start of fall. Fall is September 22nd, and our wedding is September 23rd. It is right at the start of fall to give me something joyful during this time of the year that I do not enjoy. And it's coming up soon. So I am excited about that. If you don't know, seasonal depression it has an actual name, which is seasonal affective disorder or SAD, which how fitting is that? And this is when the change in seasons bring on this feeling of just like sadness, anxiety, or just a general sense of heaviness. And you really know that there's nothing wrong, nothing is happening, but you just have this feeling of just, ugh. And it's more common in the winter when the daylight hours are shorter, but it can hit at any season. Like I mentioned, for me, it really is fall. It doesn't take till winter to happen. In the fall, I start to feel it, and trust me, it's no joke. My dad also suffers from this. He is a guy who is always doing something outside, whether it's, with the lawn or in the garage. He's usually busy outside. And I remember when I was a kid, um, he actually being really bummed about the time change. Like I remember him mentioning like, "Oh, these days are getting so short. It's getting dark so early. As soon as I get home, it's starting to get dark." And I knew I related to that, but we just never had a name for it or knew anything to do about it. It was just a feeling we had because it felt like the day was over as soon as it began to me. But it was definitely there. So I won't pretend to have it all figured out at all because I don't. But over these last few years, especially since Nova has been born, I have found a few things that I do that tend to help deal with my seasonal depression a lot more than it had in years past. So first things first is just getting super intentional about planning fun things. And I know that this could be, a lot for some people. They're like, I don't want to plan a party. It doesn't have to be a major thing, but just planning anything, dinner with your friends, something, putting something on the calendar to look forward to. Having something to look forward to on these gloomy days is just a real game changer. For me, that does mean diving like headfirst into planning my birthday party. So the theme, the outfits, the food, all of that. My birthday is November 17th. And my party is done and planned before October 1st every year. And yes, today is September 20th when I'm recording this, and my party is planned. The theme is picked, the colors are done, the venue is booked, the invites have been made. My mom is my decorator this year because her dream job is to be like an event planner coordinator. And this year I said, Mom, you go for it. And she is. So she's handling all of that. But we're just getting last minute things together. But everything's pretty much done. Like she and I were shopping for our outfits. Like Nova, we're done because it gave me something to do during this time. And I love that. So now we're just piecing everything together. Um, and I know it sounds wild, but seriously, getting lost in all those details is just something fun to focus on. And it's positive and it's fun. The theme, planning games, just thinking of all the fun you're going to have with your people, it just lifts my mood in a big way. I love that. So that's something that I do. And also, I know this is probably not, the case for everyone, but my job is in full swing during the football season. So right now is when I'm the busiest, and it keeps me busy. Having that extra responsibility on top of everything else helps distract me. Like work is so hectic, and it's almost like I don't have time to get down in the dumps because I'm just running from one thing to the next, city to city, constant deadline changes, data request. And there's something that I actually thought about yesterday is the fact that I'm on the West Coast a lot for work, and I get a break from my East Coast time zone, and that seems to help me as well. Don't get me started on Nova and her dance. Having so many practices right now, she has 2 a week, sometimes it's 3. She's only 5, so we're not going crazy. So Monday she has a 2-hour practice, Friday she has a 2-hour practice, and some Saturdays she'll have an hour practice. And she's being trained in everything. She has ballet, tap, hip hop, jazz, lyrical, and acro. She's just doing a lot of things, and she wants to do all these things. And until I see that it's too much, I'll let her do what she wants. But looking forward to her practices and her performances just gives me energy, because just seeing her learn the moves, and she loves it. Like Nova loves it more than I ever did, because I started dancing when I was 3, and she loves it more than I came home and it was like, okay, I have to practice, I have to stretch, I have to, do technique. It was not a thing for her. I don't ever have to ask her to practice. She just does it. She's dancing and flipping and stretching and doing all these things all the time, and she loves it. And it's been so much fun to watch her learn these things, then come home and just have her practice with me. I show her my old competition videos, my old costumes. It's just a really nice way to keep spirits high and focus on something that she loves and that I love as well. Um, so if your kids can be in something, that's always great. Giving your kids an activity that you can go to during this time is fun. Having that event to look forward to or to share with your kid, another great way to do it. And I've also started tackling Christmas shopping early. Yes, I'm that person now. It's September and my list is almost done. I've been planning out the gifts ahead of time, getting fully into, decorating and everything. I haven't put up anything, but I have a plan. And the earlier I start, the more I get to enjoy the process without like stressing out for the last minute shopping. And let me tell you, transforming the house for like a full holiday, it's so much fun. It's a fun distraction on these days where it's getting dark early. And last year we did like a Grinch theme, and it was just kind of like sprinkle some things around the house. It was cute, but it wasn't, too much. I was very busy at work last season. But this year, I think I'm going all out. Even if I'm busy, even if I have to, be here, there, and everywhere, we're doing it this year. And I'm going gingerbread house theme because Nova would love that, and it would be a lot of fun. And I'm really hoping that this becomes a tradition of decorating with her every year. But yeah, that's been fun to focus on as well. And also, which is actually one of my favorite things, is that every Friday in our house is movie night. We set up our big air mattress in the living room, and we order a ton of pizza and snacks. Nova gets to drink Sprite because we don't give her soda. But on Friday, Friday pizza night and movie night. She gets to have some Sprite, and we just watch movies and play board games. And I was thinking about getting a projector and doing like the big like campfire s'mores type thing in my parents' backyard. We live on like a main road, and I would never sit outside when over there, but my parents have much more space in their backyard, and I was thinking about doing that there, but I have not done that because I'm not an outside girly, and I know that if I give Nova this idea, she will love it and want to do it every Friday, and I don't think I'm ready. I just don't think I'm ready for that. So for now, we're sticking to the living room, but it's fun. She loves it. It's something to look forward to. And that's really it. So if you are struggling with seasonal depression, I hope you know how common it is. And I hope that something that I mentioned can either work for you or maybe spark an idea to help you. And if you have any tips or experiences that you want to share, please feel free to reach out to me on social media. I love when y'all are in my DMs talking about episodes, things that you heard, things that help you, because I'd love to hear from you. And my info is down the show notes. Next week, as I already have this planned out, but next week, next Friday, my husband will be on the podcast. A lot of people have asked me a bunch about our pregnancy and my ectopic journey, things I mentioned before here and on YouTube. Um, and he's going to come on. We're going to get to hear his point of view from the husband, hearing what he thought about it, his journey with, our pregnancies and the things we've gone through. And I hope you guys enjoy that. If you have any questions you want us to answer, we already have some that I've just been collecting since I've talked about it. If you have any more questions about ectopic, pregnancy, hyperemesis gravidarum, anything like that, please send it to me. We'll pile them all together and I'll start answering those questions with Christopher next week. All right. So take care of yourselves. And until next time, stay strong, stay resilient, and keep embracing the shifts. Bye.